In the previous lesson, we clarified what a forecast really is. It's an estimate and not a promise. Now let's build on that idea and introduce an important distinction. In most organizations, you will come across two types of forecast, the macro forecast and the micro forecast. And it's important to understand the difference between the two and why they both exist. Let's take a simple example. Assume you work for a company that sells two product categories, cookies and chocolates. Within each category, you sell 3 SKUs. An SKU is a stock keeping unit. Simply put, it means a unique product variant. For example, 200-gram vanilla cookie pack or 500-gram chocolate cookie pack. Now assume you have been asked to prepare a sales forecast for the year 2026. There are broadly two ways in which you could approach this. In the first approach, you forecast demand on a higher or an aggregated level. For example, you will say that the cookies are going to sell 200 units each quarter and the chocolates are going to sell 100 units for each quarter. This is the first approach. In the second approach, you forecast demand at a much more granular and detailed level. For example, by SKU, by month, and possibly by location or channel. The first approach is what we call the macro forecast. This is a forecast that has numbers on a higher or an aggregated level. For example, volumes by categories and on a quarter level. The second approach is the micro forecast. It's a more detailed view with numbers for each SKU and each period. Now the obvious question is, why do these two forecasts exist in the same organization? The answer is because they serve different purposes and are created in different ways. Macro forecasts are usually formed by looking at the external environment in which the business operates. For example, population growth, inflation rates, economic outlook, technological and social trends. For example, if the population of a country is expected to grow by 5%, the leadership and marketing team of the company might expect the total company sales to grow by a similar magnitude. This is a macro-level forecast. Macro forecasts are useful for directional planning, strategic discussions, and leadership communication. They help answer questions like where the business is heading and how does the external environment in which the business operates is looking like. However, macro forecasts are way too aggregated to run the day-to-day operations of the business. For example, if I tell my plant manager that the total cookie sales will be 200 units in Q2 of next year, then that information is not sufficient enough for them to create a production plan. Plants do not just produce total categories or total cookies. They produce specific products in specific quantities at specific times. For example, instead of knowing the total cookie sales will be 200 units in Q2 of next year, they need to know how much exact amount of 200-gram vanilla cookie packs are needed in the month of April so they can do the production accordingly. This is where micro forecasts come in. A micro forecast breaks down the demand into details such as by product or SKU, by location or warehouse, by customer or channel, by month, by week, or in some cases even by day. This level of detail is critical for operational execution. Production planners don't just produce total company sales or total cookies. They produce individual SKUs. So they need to know how much of each SKU needs to be produced so they can set up their production plans. That's why demand planning typically focuses on micro-level forecasting. To build these forecasts, demand planning collects input from sales, marketing, supply, and other functions of the business and converts them into a detailed demand view. Now, the next question that comes to mind is that will having two different sets of forecasts will create confusion or clashes in the organization? Well, if organizations have the right discipline and forecasting processes, that will not be the case. In well-run organizations, macro and micro forecast complement and validate each other. Let's assume the following scenario. A marketing team forecasts that the cookie sales should grow by 10% because the population of the country is expected to grow by 10% next year. This is the macro forecast. The micro forecast set up by demand planning shows only 7% growth in cookies. This does not mean that micro forecast is wrong. There could be some very good reasons why micro forecast is lower than the macro forecast. For example, there could be some products that are being discontinued. Have we lost some customers? Are there production capacity constraints due to which we are not able to produce enough even though the demand is there? So the difference between a macro and a micro forecast will trigger a healthy business discussion. The goal is not to force numbers to match between the macro and the micro forecast, but to understand the business reasons behind the gap. This is why demand planning plays such a crucial and central role. Their job is not just mathematical forecasting. Their job is to ensure that micro forecasts are realistic and executable, they make sense when viewed against the macro outlook, and have a clear business logic behind them. To summarize, macro forecasts are created based on external macroeconomic factors. Micro forecasts are driven by inputs from internal business functions. Macro forecasts are highly aggregated, for example, category level forecast by quarter. Micro forecasts are granular and more detailed, for example, SKU level forecast by month. Macro forecasts are typically created once or twice a year. Micro forecasts are created more frequently, most commonly on a monthly basis. We're going to explore this point further in the lecture on forecast governance. Macro forecasts are usually developed by marketing or the strategy teams. Micro forecasts are owned and managed by demand planning teams. Macro forecasts are used by leadership team to understand the overall direction of the business and its environment, whereas the users of micro forecast are usually the operational teams. Their purpose is to guide day-to-day execution and operational decision-making. Since this is a course on demand planning, our focus will be on micro forecasting. In the next lessons, we will start looking at how micro forecasts are actually built and explore some commonly used forecasting techniques.